Hey, what's going on, my boys? Guns blazing back at it again, and today we're going to take a look at Beast Warriors because they have some of the strongest level 4 normal monsters out right now. Actually, the strongest. We got Andal, which is 2100 and 1700 defense under Fields of the Warriors, and Vorse Raider, also 2100. And Rage Battle Ox allows all of your Beast Warrior or Beast or Winged Beast type monsters to have piercing damage, and Rhinotaurus can get a second attack in if you destroy 2 or more of your opponent's monsters in the same battle phase. Let's take a look at the back row. We're packing 1 order charge, no more no less, because we are running 6 vanilla type monsters, 2 cheese play, 1 anti-magic arrows because this is really useful to close out games where your opponent has a lot of back row, which is common nowadays, 1 Mirage, 2 Wall Disrupt, 1 Windstorm, 1 Metal Mage to get over big threats, and you can also get over big threats with Beast Rising. Beast Rising is also good for getting your monsters out of tight situations like targeted effects. You can also use it to mitigate the effect of Wall of Disruption. You can use it to get your monsters out of attacking into a mirror wall. You can even Beast Rising a monster and prevent it from getting floodgated. And lastly, check out this poor man's pleasant pleb version. If you have limited access to pack super rares, it's pretty bad, but I'm just leaving it up here in case you need some budget replacements. Alright, ladies and gents, let's move on to those replays. If you have a deck that you want me to try out on stream, do leave me a comment down below. Anyways, this is Joey versus Maximilian, and with Maximilian Pegasus, if they don't pop Mind Scan, if you don't see the skill pop at the start, then they don't have it. And so this guy is probably running something like extra, so take that as a clue as to what your opponent is running. Anyways, moving on, I just set that Beast Rising, summoned the Vorse, as you can see 2100 under the Sojin. And the suspicions are confirmed. He summons Amazon as Swordswoman, so it's very highly likely that he's running extra. Also, he has 3 sets. Pretty scary because if he has multiple massive morphs, if I attack into him, then it's already game over. Anyways, I'm gonna go aggressive. Summon Rhinotaurus, he floodgates it. I actually can Beast Rising at this point, but I choose not to because the more I pump up Vorse Raider, the more this attack is gonna do to myself, because Amazon as Swordswoman's effect turns a battle damage it takes onto the opponent. Now, I know he probably doesn't have Massive Morph, otherwise he would have popped it right there, which is a good sign. Anyways, he just sets another card. Set that Econ and go in with my Andal. Just E-jabs it. And then pops the golden apples. By the way, extra is live right now because it pops every time you do 2000 damage. And then I just Beast Rising onto my Vorse so that I can take care of this token. So we're hoping that this guy doesn't pick up something useful with extra. I'll let you know right now that he did pick up something useful. I won't let you know what it is just yet, but he does set 2 of them. And he pops a Goblin Thief, so we know that these 2 are the same card. Anyways, I go ahead and summon that Rhino. Hit him in the face with it. Go for the attack with my Vorse, and the card is revealed. Turns out he picked up 2 Amazon as Willpowers. So I'm already thinking of how I'm going to deal with this. First up, I don't attack into the Swordswoman. I call off the Declaration. He pops extra again. Sets a card. Goes into my Vorse Raider. I decide I have to let this one go through even though I'm going to take 2300 damage. And surprisingly, he doesn't pop the second Amazoness Willpower and try to go for me again. But I go in for the attack here. He pops the Amazoness. He has a little plan. He has something cheesy up his sleeve. And so when I attack into it, he pops that Massive Morph for the lethal. But your boy has a plan of his own. I'm like, nah, I'm gonna Beast Rising that out. Prevent that attack from ever happening. Then I'm gonna cheese play. Econ take onto his Amazoness Swordswoman. Betray him with it. And farm him with the Vorse Raider over 5000 damage for the lethal. Okay, so this matchup was very interesting, to say the least. It's Joey versus Joey, but he didn't pop the skill at the start, so I'm thinking he's probably running Last Bosch. But what kind of last gambage, we don't know. So I summoned that Rhinotaurus and set that Econ. This D-bag decides to Cosmic Cyclone it off the field, banish it. And that opens up his Vorse Raider, which is very annoying because he's piggybacking off of my Sojin boost. Not much I can do about that besides summon my Andal, set my Mirage, and hope he attacks into me. He sets a monster face down and decides to not attack into it. Very interesting choice. I got that Order to Charge and the Rhinotaurus. So I'm going to attack him the face down. Turns out it's Kid Moto. I'm like, what kind of deck is this? Turns out he also had the Blue Eyes in hand. So this Lucker Dog is in a very good spot. Decides to anti-magic arrows. This guy just has all the outs right now. All the answers to all of my cards. Gets to clear my board. Keep in mind I can't pop any of these because of the anti-spell arrows. I summon that Vorse and my turn. Decides to switch his Blue Eyes into defense mode, possibly playing around the Wall of Disruption, which is a good move in my opinion. But I just mirror wall onto the Vorse and net myself a little more field advantage. Now, if I picked up an Order to Charge here, a normal monster, so that I could use my Order to Charge, it would have been very good. Of course I don't, I just pick up the Beast Rising, so I pay for the wall, and let myself survive another turn. He last gambages a Kidmodo way. Turns out he also had a Flute of Summoning Dragon. Which is pretty crazy, but since he gambled away his Kidmodo, he can pop the effect and special summon another Blue Eyes from his hand. And no battle phase this turn for him. Either way wouldn't have mattered because the wall is still up. I pick up another Vorse, so it's pretty good. I decide to test his back row by going in for the Beast Rising attack. He decides to Wall of Disruption, and that's okay because if I pop Beast Rising, it only reduces by 800. And this is still enough to get over his Blue Eyes, but I realize that I don't even need to be attacking anymore. I can just have this 3200 beat stick out on the field. And since he gambled into so many cards on the dice roll, I'm like, you're the one that has to step to me if you want to win this duel. So I'm going to let him go aggressive instead of, throwing the game by attacking. He's on a timer, so if he doesn't go aggressive, then he's not going to win the game. He's going to deck out before me. And so I just leave this 3200 beat stick out on the field. And I'm safe behind a Windstorm and a Sphere of Bola. I do have anti-magic arrows, but unfortunately I'm clogged right now, and if I Windstorm, it's going to get switched into defense mode, and there's no telling that he's going to switch it back into attack. So I just play it patiently, and you don't have to win every game by, getting your opponent's life points to 0. You can just deck him out in some scenarios, and this was one of them. Next up, a Mind Scan Pegasus.
Duel.
Your boy's gonna lead off with an Enraged Battle and set the mirror wall. Then he leads off with his Electro, very annoying, but I'm gonna let this card get pinned. Sometimes you chain the mirror wall, sometimes you let it get pinned, and this is one of the scenarios I let it get pinned because we have anti-magic arrows, meaning we can easily take care of this Electro through the back row and unpin the mirror wall. So that's the play I'm going for this turn. I'm gonna set my Econ, enter battle phase, and as soon as it happens, pop the anti-cheese and go ham on this Electro. And already his Mind Scan is unavailable because he's under 3000 now. Anyway, he's very annoying. He summons the Mirage Dragon and sets another card, but I'm going to use his own Mirage Dragon against him. So I Econ take right here, and immediately nothing is chainable, meaning he toggled off. His back row is probably full of traps. This guy just got cucked, and I hit him with that Mirage Dragon Betray for exact lethal. Pretty quick game. Okay, so this is the last matchup. We got Holy Guard Gladiator Beast versus Fields of the Warrior Beast Warriors. The Beast matchup. And I lead off with a pretty good starting hand. 2 traps, 2 mons. 2 very useful traps, I might add. Anyways, I'm going to lead off with Enraged Battle Ox and the Beast Rising set. I usually lead off with a weaker monster because it's easier to bait with. And also, if something happens to it, then I got the stronger one ready to go in my hand. Anyways, he goes D Makari and 2 sets, doesn't attack, doesn't have any half-shut shenanigans. I pick up Andal, so I'm going to go ahead and summon that. He floodgates it. but I can make use of this Andal still by using Beast Rising. Keep in mind that you can't use Beast Rising after it's floodgated because it has to be face up. And so I go in for this attack. If he has Mirror Wall or Wall of Disruption, I don't really care, but it turns out he has Impenetrable, which actually allows him to survive, but he's gonna take 22 of them, thanks. Anyways, it's not looking good for your boy because he gets to tag out into his Murmillo and destroy my Enraged Battle Ox. So this 3800 beat stick is gonna go straight to the grave. Pretty sad for me. Anyways, he summons a second Gladiator Beast and goes in for the double attack. I decided to go for Wall of Disruption here because if I don't, then it's just going to be a waste. He's going to summon his Bestiary anyways and destroy it. So at least this saves me, you know, getting damaged. He still gets to tag out even if there's 0 attack. So he goes for a Lakari. Goes for that Demakari into Bestiary. And whichever one he destroyed here, it doesn't really matter. Because Beast Rising, I only have 1 monster available. I can't get 2 monsters out in the same turn, so that's really not going to see much use. Anyways, the heart of the cards guide your boy. I pick up that cheese play. So I'm going to go in for the finish. I'm going to attack his Bestiary. Then Econ take. Cheese play. Get his Lakari. Finishing move, Lakari Betray. Eat up those memories! Yamate guns! Hanase. Pocky.
Pocky.
Spoken in silence, blazing like sirens. I can bring you out of the darkness into the fiery light.